Hey guys, for today's video, I'll be guiding you over how to build Columbina, who is the best support for lunar reaction based teams. Starting off with her kits, she allows allies to activate all lunar reactions, including the new lunar crystallized reaction. She buffs all lunar reactions, and when using her skill, she does continuous lunar reaction damage corresponding to the lunar reaction that has done the most damage and has been activated the most. She also spawns a Hydro ring like Nailu that can apply Hydro when off field, and she can consume Verd-induced stacks to do powerful Lunar Bloom HP scaling charge attacks that let her act as a main DPS. So in short, similarly to Cyrene and Honkai Star Rail, she is a tailor-made support, not for the Crisis Heirs, but for the Lunar Reaction meta, who'll be able to raise the DPS of Lunar Reaction based main DPS like Flint's and Affair by a ridiculous amount, and she'll also be able to act as a powerful Lunar Reaction main DPS herself. Here's how to save big when topping up for Genshin Impact's 6.2 banners. Lootbar.gg has a limited discount for the 6,480 Genesis Crystal Bundle, alongside a bunch of other discounts on different bundles, like the All-in-One Bundle and the Guaranteed Bundles. They also have a 10% off for new users coupon, and a 5 and a 3% off for returning users coupon. To save on your top-ups, go to lootbar.gg, choose a bundle, put your account information, then click Top Up Now. Then select your payment method, add or use a coupon code, then click Pay Now. In a couple of minutes, your discounted bundle should arrive. Now, lootbar.gg is trusted by creators like Genshin Impact and Gopa Certified, and that has a 4.9 rating on Trustpilot alongside a bunch of 5-star reviews. Also, join the Lootbar Christmas Draw event for a chance to get a 100% off coupon and other grand rewards. You can get a guaranteed win for the first draw, and the first purchase during the event grants 2 times Lootbar points. So if you want to save when topping up, go to lootbar.gg by clicking the link in the pinned comment or description. For her skill priorities, you should level up her ultimate because it buffs lunar reaction damage by 40%, then level up her skill because it does a ton of lunar reaction sub DPS, but prioritize leveling up her charge attack instead if she's being ran as a main DPS, since it does a considerable amount of damage. For her artifacts, the new Morning Star and Moon set will be the best since it increases lunar reaction damage by 40% when Columbina is off field, which she will typically be. For an alternative, the Silken Moon set will also be good since it increases lunar reaction damage and provides a bunch of EM for the team. Now, if she's going to be ran as a main DPS, she's gonna want the Unveiling set since it'll increase her EM by 80 and crit rate by 30% when she's on field. For her main stats, she's gonna want ER or HP percentage for her sands, HP percentage for her goblets, and crit or HP percentage for her circlet. For her substats, she's gonna want crit, then HP percentage, then flat HP. For her weapons, her signature will be her best because it provides crit, energy, and HP percentage, which are all crucial stats for her. Moalani, New Villette, and Kokomi's signature and the Jade Fall Suspender would all be good because they provide HP percentage alongside other good stats. 4-star weapons like the Ring, the Drinking Horn, and the Prototype Amber would also be really good since they also provide HP percentage. The Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers will also remain a really good pick since it provides HP percentage and that increases the attack of the character she switches to, which would be really good for lunar charge characters. Crit main stat weapons will also be really good for her since they will increase her DPS tremendously. Nefarious signature will also be really good if she's being used as a main DPS since it provides crit and lunar bloom damage buffs. Lauma's signature will also be good for her main DPS playstyle since it also buffs lunar bloom damage. For her teams, she'll be the best supports in lunar charge, lunar bloom, and lunar crystallized teams. For lunar charge teams, she's gonna want an Electro or Hydro main DPS, and then 2 flex slots, with one of these flex slots being an Electro applicator if you're using a Hydro main DPS. For your Electro main DPS, Flint's will be the best since his kit is tailored around the lunar charge reaction, with other Electro main DPS like Varisa or Clodinde being viable but not as powerful. For your Hydro main DPS, New Villette will be the best simply because he's the best Hydro main DPS in the game who doesn't do the majority of his damage through the vape reaction like Moalani. For your Electro applicator, Inefa will be the best since her kit is also tailored around the lunar charge reaction, but other Electro applicators like Auroron or Fischl will also be viable. For your flex slots, Sucrose will typically be the best because she can provide damage bonuses, Reshred, and a bunch of EM, but other Reshredders like Xylonen, Zhongli, or even Durin will also be good, and Bennett/Ayansan will also be really powerful because they provide a bunch of attack. For Lunar Bloom teams, she's gonna want Nefer to be the main DPS if she's being ran as a sub DPS, in which case you're gonna want a Dendroflex slot, preferably preferably being Lauma since she's the best Lunar Bloom supports, and then another Dendro flex slot or a regular flex slot. But if Columbina is being ran as a main DPS, you're gonna want a Hydro Applicator, with Aino being the best, a Dendro flex slot, preferably Lauma since she's the best Bloom supports, and then another Dendro flex slot or a regular flex slot. For Hydro Applicators, Aino will be the best since she provides EM and buffs lunar reaction damage at C6, but typically any other Hydro Applicator like Jingchuo or Yelan will do just fine. For Dendro flex slots, Lauma will be the best because she's the only support who can provide massive Lunar Bloom buffs, but you can run Nahida or Baishu since they can both keep up the Deepwood memory sets. Nahida can do a ton of sub DPS and Baishu can sustain. For flex slots, Kuki and Zhongli would be good since they can use the Instructor or Deepwood set and they can sustain. Also, Jahoda would be an amazing pick since she can provide EM and shred Hydro resistances as well as sustaining, and Sucrose can do the same thing as Jahoda except she can't sustain. For Lunar Crystallize, you're gonna want a Geo main DPS, then a Geo flex slot, then another Geo flex slot or a regular flex slot. For your Geo main DPS, you're gonna want Jabai since her kit is tailored around the Lunar Crystallize reaction, but other Geo main DPS like Navia will also be viable. For your Geo flex slot, Iluga at C2 will be the best, but Albedo, Shiori, Goro, Zhongli, or Cylonin with Furina would also be really good. For your regular flex slots, Inefa for Lunar Charge sub DPS, Mona for Albedo to get his X-ray buffs, or Furina with Cylonin would all be good. For her Constellations, her C1 reduces her Lunar Reaction sub DPS ramp up, which will increase her sub DPS damage by 33%, since she'll be able to activate her Lunar Reaction sub DPS 4 instead of 3 times. It also provides a bunch of unique buffs depending on what Lunar Reaction damage her sub DPS is doing, which aren't too important. It also elevates Lunar Reaction damage by 1.5%, which is a unique damage bonus that pretty much means that Lunar Reaction damage is buffed times 1.015, aka not that much. Her C2 increases her Lunar Reaction sub DPS by 25%, since it increases her Lunar Reaction sub DPS activation from 4 to 5. She also provides more unique buffs depending on what Lunar Reaction damage her sub DPS is doing, which are actually significant this time because they are massive stat boosts. It also increases her HP by a significant amount, which will increase her DPS tremendously. It also elevates Lunar Reaction damage by 7%, which is a unique damage bonus that pretty much means that Lunar Reaction damage is buffed times 1.715 with their C1 included, which is a massive damage bonus to Lunar Reaction damage. Her C4 increases her Lunar Reaction sub DPS damage even more, and it restores 33% of her ultimate energy every rotation. It also elevates Lunar Reaction damage by 1.5%, meaning that she'll now increase Lunar Reaction damage times 1.73. Like most other C4s, this C4 will also mostly act as a stepping stone for her C6 since it isn't that valuable. Her C6 increases the crit damage for the Lunar Reaction corresponding to her Lunar Reaction sub DPS, and it elevates Lunar Reaction damage by 7% again, meaning that she'll now increase Lunar Reaction damage times 2.43. This constellation, although really powerful, is honestly only decent for a C6, and I would recommend stopping at C2 if you want to vertically invest into her. For my investment recommendations, I recommend going for C2 R0 over C1 R1, and for her R1 over her C1. This is because her C2's stat upgrades and Lunar Reaction damage elevation is far better than what her R1 has to offer, but her R1 is far better than her C1 since it provides a variety of powerful buffs, while her C1 provides a variety of decent buffs. Now, should you summon on Columbina? Well, like I said at the start of the video, Columbina is the best support for the new Lunar Reaction meta. This means that as long as you have her, you can build a myriad of teams that can defeat Lunar Reaction dependent bosses without the need of other Lunar Reaction characters like Inefa, Flint's, Lauma, Nefer, or the new Lunar Crystallized character, Jabai. Not only that, but even if you already have these Lunar Reaction characters, Columbina will still provide a lot of value since you'll still be able to buff their DPS so that it's on the level of Mavuika, the strongest DPS in the game. Thus, in my opinion, Columbina has a significant amount of pull value right now because of the Lunar Reaction meta, and I will definitely pull for her, but whether her pull value will be safe through future metas is definitely debatable, since, like usual, the strongest DPS of last year is already being power crept by regular units only a year after their release. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you wish to know more, you can click on the video to the right. With that being said, goodbye. With that being said, goodbye.